When someone asks you to pray for them right then and there. Okay? First off, when someone asks you for prayer, they are wanting you to pray. And if you don't pray at that moment, you might forget. And if you say that you're going to pray for them and then don't pray for them, then you're a liar. So it's better to just go ahead and get it over with, like at that very moment, in order to be a person of your word. So that's one reason you should do it right away when someone asks you to pray for them. Secondly, you should pray for them right away, because when you pray for another believer with them, it divides the load, okay? So the load is lifted off them immediately. So if you just say, oh, okay, I'll pray for you. Okay, bye-bye, and hang up, then they haven't had their the weight of the burden that they're bearing was not divided and removed from that person. So if you know the good that you can do and don't do it, to you it is sin. So it would be sin for me to leave a woman in a state of not being prayed for if she's asking for prayer. I mean, that's ridiculous. If you're not right with God, I can understand why you wouldn't want to pray with her or whatever, but you should always be right with God. And then secondly, overcome your fear of praying out loud. Get over yourself, get over your own self-absorption, and love others. Okay, we're commanded to love others. So show love to that other person by dividing the load and praying for that person right away. There are times in my own life where I have gone to someone or I have phoned them that I needed prayer, and they prayed with me, and it made a difference immediately. Sometimes there is a demonic component, especially when we are following God full tilt with 100% of our being. A lot of times the fog that you feel, the brain fog and the yuck, especially while you're praying, that can have a demonic component to it, because I've had someone pray for me over the phone and then boom, it lifted and I felt clear-headed, like I just took a nap. I felt completely refreshed. And so it wasn't hormones, it wasn't anything like that, because it was instant. After I was prayed for, it cleared and went away. So a lot of times there's a demonic component to a prayer request or a burden or having just being weighed down by something. And sometimes if you're following God with all your heart and you're weighed down by something, you just can't shake it, and it's such a burden. If someone else prays with you, that burden's divided, and then you can move forward in God's will instead of getting stuck and spinning your wheels, which is what the enemy wants. The enemy wants you to be incapacitated and not move forward in the will of God. So he wants you stuck, and so he wants you foggy and bogged down. And so don't let other people be in that condition of being bogged down. If you see that they need prayer, ask them, do you need prayer? Would you like me to pray with you? Most people say yes. They'll take a prayer, even if they're atheists, because it's like a good luck charm or something, and they like money and good things and blessings. So of course, sure, you can pray even if they don't believe in God. So a lot of people, that's actually a really great way to evangelize, by the way. You can ask how you can pray for a person, like a waitress or whatever. Is there any way we can pray for you? And they're shocked, and then they say it. And would you like me to pray with you right now? And they might say yes, they might say no. If they say no, that's fine. If they say yes, then do it. that could actually lead to their salvation. So, yeah, because they can see that you love them, because you do. Yeah, that's the cool thing of pressing into God. You love other people, you know? Like when I chopped my finger by accident with a butcher knife while I was chopping potatoes, I chopped it all the way through. And there was a little bit hanging off, hanging it together. It's healing right now, in case you're wondering what this bandage is. But I was in the emergency room and I was looking around, holding my thumb together, the piece of my thumb to the rest of it. And I had to wait 2 whole hours to be seen. And I thought to myself, you know what, Lord, if you chopped off my finger to save the soul of somebody in here, it was worth it. I'll give up a finger for a human to come to know Christ. I didn't used to feel that way, okay? I love way more than I used to love because I'm filled with the Spirit. Way more. Oh, okay, like before I didn't love at all. I thought I did, but I didn't whatsoever, okay? Love is of God. The more of God you have, the more, 1 Corinthians 13, that true concern of them, I mean, ahead of my own body, okay? For a stranger. I'm willing to die or be chopped for a stranger. That's not normal. So that I would love to that extent is ridiculous. That's how Jesus is. That's how Jesus is. Okay? That's why come to him. If you're not saved, be saved. Look to Jesus and be saved. Cry out to him and he'll teach you how to have a relationship with him. It's all in Scripture. It's all in the Bible. So, pray at that moment. If someone asks you to pray for them, pray at that moment. Stop what you're doing. There's nothing that you're doing that's more important, okay? God will give you your time back. And praying with somebody, honestly, it's not very long. It's way less than 5 minutes usually to pray about one specific thing over one person. I mean, usually it doesn't take more than 2 minutes, but relax, don't rush, and lift that person up to the Lord with all your heart, and let that burden be lifted from them. And pray in faith, and love them, you know. So, pray at that moment. I'm Susan Evans, the author of Becoming a Prayer Warrior, A Personal Journey. Thanks for listening.